All right, guys, welcome back to Commission Reviews. All right, guys, as you guys know, we are at the finale. With the four remaining teams: Team UK's Jordan and Kaz, Team USA's Theo and Sarah. We have Danny and Tori, and Team Australia's Troy and KC. They are aboard the Fear Express train, child. Okay, it's a hot mess, and they get. Wait a minute. Hold on. Before we get to that, let me talk about this train. So they have to dress up in like this whole old timey mess. He has the train conductor outfit on. Food across the table. Champagne. Eating and grubbing. I remember looking at this table like, man. I mean, they had all kind of stuff on that table, and they all probably stank like hell. They had been running, doing all this stuff. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do because I've probably been hungry and thirsty, and knowing me is some champagne there and food. Oh my God. But each person, because of how they did the last last performance, each person gets some time of sleep. The winners, which were Kaz and Jordan, they got an hour of sleep. I forgot what Danny and Tori got 15 minutes. I think Theo and Sarah, everybody had like a certain amount, 30 minutes, whatever it was. But before they can get to that sleep, they had to stay up all night after eating all that food and drinking all that alcohol. Baby, I'm telling you, that would have been the worst challenge. But I work all night, and I thought about it after I watched it. Would I have been able to do that, even though I work overnight? I know there's some tricks of the trade to being overnight to keep yourself up. They was using ice. The one thing I wouldn't have done is eating. One point, the thing I could tell you about after lunchtime, once everyone eats, it is harder to get a lot of work done because people are full. And imagine being full and working overnight. You sit in your car for too long, you go to sleep. Now, I never do that. I got to be really sick or messed up. Now, there's been time I've dozed off in my car. 20 minutes, didn't realize it. That has happened. Popped up. But like I said, it was a trick because they had no idea that on that train, once they got through eating all their food, that they would have to stay up. So let's go to the finale. The final leg. It's called the Loops of Hell. They are going to be competing in 4-mile loops and competing for completing the checkpoints. Okay. So again, after watching this, I have my own thing, but let's go. Let's get started. So Jordan and Kaz take off. Now, y'all, mind you, I said at the last video that I did, I felt like that it would be Jazz. I'm sorry, it would be Kaz and Jordan. I guess it is Jazz, Jordan, and Kaz. Jazz. Hey. I actually thought that those two would have won, or I said KC. Now, anyway, Kaz is already talking about cramps and somehow she's in pain. Jordan is like, come on, compared to how you were with Anissa, it's a little bit better because Anissa, he was just dogging her behind out. But to me, Jordan, I wanted Jordan to push through this because of what happened to Anissa. I feel like this man deserves it. Okay? He needs somebody, a partner, that's going to be able to not exactly maybe be able to carry him, but meet the smoke, not be carried the whole time. Just being honest, Anissa. I'm sorry. Anyway, Danny and Tori, Troy and Casey, they are out there to win it. Of course, here we go. The first injury. The alleged rolling of the ankle. Theo is the one that is the victim of this situation. I'm like, bro, and I feel bad, especially when he came in second place, the last one. He didn't want to quit. He kept pushing. Troy and KC, they got the checkpoint first. They pick which four to complete. Troy was like, let's do the wait for it one. He done before as a qualifier. They arrange to the poles, lightest to the heaviest, memorize the order, and they get started. Danny and Tori to get to the checkpoint. They choose throwing shade. If they miss a shot, they got to start over. Tori realized that they had been picked. This one they picked was a verse 1 because it take the most time, but they can't swap it. So Danny takes over. Jordan and Cass arrives at checkpoints third. They pick Crack the Code, a mental puzzle, and that gross smoothie. The same one from the qualifier. So, Sarah and Theo, they arrive. Jordan and Cass, they choose right because Cass gets through her checkpoint. They get to the second 4-mile lap, they got ahead of everybody else. Danny and Troy, they finish and move on. Troy and Casey, they get through the third. Theo and Sarah struggle because the smoothies are disgusting. They get through the second lap, and Theo is struggling with that foot, baby. You can tell I see it. I saw it happen from the first time he said I rolled my foot. I said, oh, it's a wrap. He's going to get as far as he can. He's going to better quit. I'm sorry. About 4 miles in, Jordan and Cass, they get to the second checkpoint to wait for it. And Tori and Danny get behind them, and they choose Crack the Code. Troy and Casey, they have to do the smoothies when they arrive, and they watch Jordan and Cass just get through it again, baby, and just pushing through. They did. Tori and Danny are right there behind them. Troy and Casey comes in third, baby. So Cass can't breathe. Jordan is yelling per usual. Tori and Danny are struggling. And Casey is using some doggone sticks. I was like, who gave up these sticks? Leaning on poor little Troy, who look like he about 4 or 5. He's struggling. And of course, Theo's. I told y'all it was. He just did not want to quit, but I just was like, bro, what's the point of taking it this far? You already know it's a wrap. I've been in the cool air somewhere. What's the point of me going this far knowing I ain't gonna make it? So anyway, let's just skip ahead, child. Danny and Tori, they finally finished the wait for it, and they get behind Jordan and Cass for that final lap. Troy and Casey finished throwing shade, and they went to move third place. Sarah tells Theo that, you know what, whatever you need to do. He got pretty far. I have to give him that credit. To be hurting like that, that's how I know he was hurt for real. So we got Jordan, Cass, and Danny and Tori, mother say. Okay. Casey and Troy kind of took over that because she was just struggling. Jordan pushes Cass to get through it, and they get through it and get to first place. Casey and Troy run to the checkpoint and still they Crack the Code. The smoothies are the hardest checkpoint, and Tori and Danny finished the first day in second place. Theo can't even. He can't. He sits down and accepts defeat. I say, would I do this? And I think I would. Watching this channel for some reason encouraged me to want to do this. I don't know why, but I would actually do this. You have to give me a year to train. A year. Anyway. So we got 3 teams left after they leave. I think this is when we get they all get to relax and they get the IVs to help them. But Casey, she breaks down, man, because they only get choose one person out the team to do it. Casey breaks down pretty bad. She's just struggling. Oh, Lord have mercy, y'all. I feel bad for her, Casey. It just seemed like Casey was she couldn't make it. Like she just was struggling. It just seemed so hard. I was really watching it this season and watching how hard and how rough it was. And like, would I put myself through it? Because this challenge world championship was really that. It was surprising who was at the end. Surprising the ones who didn't make it there, who got sent off so early. It really shows that this championship was rough, and the ones who stayed around were champions. Whether they were MVPs, different culture, whatever. The ones who made it at the end deserve to be there. Point blank, period. However they played. Because to me, a champion is going to be a mental state. It's going to be how you play your social game, how you play the physical game, how you have a partner. All of those come together to decide, and is a factor in if you are actually a champion. Point blank, period. You better recognize what I'm saying to you and get what I'm saying. If you're going to do it, baby. Like real talk. Stop the cap. We were talking about the sleeping thing and everything. Let's, at the very, very final, Tori and Danny end up being in last place. Troy and Casey finished the bike ride into first place. Jordan and Kaz right behind them in second. But Jordan pulls Kaz until they pass Casey and Troy on the run to get to first place. Casey and Troy start to accept they're not going to win the final because Casey is just really, her body is just completely shut down. But Troy put Casey on his back. That's a champ. That's a straight up champ to me. Danny and Troy, they finished their bike race, and Jordan and Kaz finished a slider puzzle, even though they got into it. Kaz was right. Jordan, sir. Troy didn't they ride to a checkpoint, and they're still working on it and fighting with each other, but you know. I have to admit, Troy and Casey really this all these teams people was pushing. They was pushing. Oh, I need to get this picture. I like this picture better. Let's see if I can email this picture to myself. Hold on. Because I like this picture. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Troy and Casey finished first to move on to the final climb up. And Danny and Tori, they right there. Like I said, Casey just was not gonna make it. Danny and Tori, of course, they pass them. And Jordan and Cass, they get there. Okay. And they have to go back down the mountain to finish the line where they started. At least it's just straight downhill. They grab their keys and go back down too. Jordan and Cass cross the finish line. I'm so proud of. I think that Jordan deserves this win so bad. This is his fourth win, though. This is Cass' second. Okay. Tony and Danny finished second. And Tori was happy to get second. Danny's probably pissed off saying this whole time, because this whole time he's been saying we need to get Jordan out. He probably said, if we would have got Jordan out, I would have been first place instead. So I get where Danny's coming from. I do. Casey and Troy, they came in third. As much as they struggled, that was pretty good. So yeah, that's the finale, y'all. We went through a whole season. Now look, we got the Challenge USA coming up. Yes, yes, yes. That's my favorite. Also, we got the second season of reality TV Conversation with Kamisha Reviews on podcast. My first one was with Jody. Hopefully, I'm working on another one for my second episode here very soon. So you guys stay on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys follow me on my podcast, Kamisha Reviews. I'm on Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. Just look me up and let me know what you think. So congratulations to Jordan and Cass on the win. This has been a rough season, y'all. We have another season ahead for USA. I need my Community Reviews crew to do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Now, again, donations to the channel would be great because I am a content creator and everything that on the channel that I use, I pay for. So I would love donations to the channel if possible. That also includes, if you don't want to do that, join the membership. Having a regular membership also helps the. All right, guys. Queen of Reality TV is out. They being said, here's the end credit.